Hello everyone, welcome to CTF Security. This is the first video on exploiting Metasploitable2, a video series. In this video, we're going to be discussing about various exploitation in Metasploitable2. In case you don't know, the Metasploitable2 is a Linux-based virtual machine which is intentionally built to be vulnerable. This VM can be used to conduct security training, test security tools, and practice common penetration testing techniques. These techniques could range from cross-site scripting attack, cross-site request forgery, SQL injection, and command execution on other attack vectors you could actually think of. But basically in this video we'll be discussing how to exploit Metasploitable2 services. We have a lot of open port on the Metasploitable2 services which we can exploit with different techniques, which we are going to be looking at in this video series. If you come to the description box on this virtual machine, you will see a quick note right here. Never expose this VM to an untrusted network. Use NAT or host only mode. If you have any question what that means, contact blah 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 blah. Okay, what that actually means is you should set your network adapter to NAT or host only, and you can simply do that by going to this configuration right here, clicking on the network adapter. You can double tap on that and this open up the configuration for you. Okay, so we have our hardware configuration right here. From this interface right here, you can set your memory, you can set your processor core, you can set your hard disk. Right now I'm using just 8 gig. You can increase or you can extend that, and you can set your network adapter. As you can see, we have about 5 different network connection right here. We have the bridge network connection, we have the NAT, we have the host only, we have the custom, and we have LAN segment. So we are advised to use the NAT and or the host only based on security reasons, but this is actually my tutorial virtual machine, so I'll be running it as a bridged network. So if you're running this on your personal computer, it is always advisable to run this on NAT or use the host only network connection. So I'm just going to select my bridge network, and I'll just click the OK. So next thing is we have a default credential given to us, which is the msfadmin, and msfadmin, that is, the username should be msfadmin and the password should be msfadmin. What I'm going to do right now is to boot up our virtual machine. So I can just simply click this and start up guest. So while that is coming up, I would like to configure my working space that we're going to be using for this tutorial, and I'll just boot up my terminal. So I created a particular directory where our word list and other two we're going to be using for this video series would be. If I ls and cd into Metasploitable2, okay, so I'll just ls that, and you can see I already have a file right here, so I'll just delete this report. So remove just remove that. So ls that. Okay, good. So I'll just clear this to have a clean terminal. I can cut my word list right. I already have a word list right here to make things a bit more easier. So this is the word list we are going to be using for this particular video series. So this is actually a short word list, and if you actually want to put it into practice, you could use the raw queue file by simply locating the raw queue file. So this is a large extensive word list which you can use to perform penetration testing on different platforms, especially when it comes to password cracking attacks. And you can see the raw queue right here. So I've already extracted this. If you have not extracted yours, it usually comes in gz file format, so you could actually just run the gz decompress, get the name of the file out, or specifying the directory of the file to actually unzip that. So after you unzip that, you should be having the rocky.txt file. But for the purpose of this lesson, I'm going to be using a shorter word list, which is the one I just created right here, which is my word list.txt. So I'm just going to check our Metasploitable to see the stats. Okay, good. So we are going to log in with the default login we're given, which is msfadmin, and the password is msfadmin. So I'll log in. So we are logging. As you can see, we are in the msfadmin at Metasploitable. So I'll just ifconfig to check our IP address. Good. So we have our IP address to be 192.168.43.125. I would like to check the interface of our Metasploitable2 application. So I'll just simply boot my browser. So while that is coming, I'll just clear this once again. So I'll split this screen. So I'll be splitting it horizontally. Okay, good. Okay, so all I have to do is just to paste that particular Metasploitable2 IP address right here to boot up the interface. So I'll just start a new session. Okay, I have it right here. So I'll just enter that. Okay, good. So you can see this is the interface of our Metasploitable2. We have a lot of application here, such as the web dev. We have the dem vulnerable web application. We have the Motility. We have the PHP admin. We have the T-wikis, which you can check this out on your own. So now head back to our open terminal right here. The first thing I want to do before scanning for our potential target is to create a report. I'll just easily use the mousepad report.txt. So the file name will be report.txt. Okay, good. So we have a report file. So I'm just going to minimize this and make this fit into this page. Okay, so we'll be documenting our findings into this report right here. The first thing I want to do is to perform a scan, and we're going to be performing a basic scan on this Metasploitable machine. So I wouldn't want to mess with this, so I'll just open a new terminal for that. Okay, good. So to perform a basic scan on our target machine, which is the 192.168.43.125, I'll just simply run the sudo nmap, the IP address, and that will be all. I'll just hit the enter key, supply my sudo password, and we'll just wait for that to complete. Okay, so while the scanning is going on, so I'll just head back to my other terminal and perform an aggressive scan right here. So using sudo nmap, the IP address. Okay, before the IP address, you are supposed to specify aggressive and supply the sudo password, and that will run an aggressive. Okay, that was wrong. And this will run an aggressive scan on our target. So what we're going to do now is head back to the other terminal we created. Okay, so we have various open port right here, ranging from port 21 all to port 8180. So we have the FTP service port open, we have the SSH, we have the telnet, we have SMTP and others. So we're going to be looking at how we can exploit all these services one after the other, and we're going to be doing this in a chronological order. So we're going to be starting with the FTP service. So first of all, what is FTP service? The full meaning of FTP service is file transfer protocol, which is a particular protocol which is used to transfer file within a network. This particular file transfer protocol service in Metasploitable2 machine is actually vulnerable. So if we'll take a look at our aggressive scan right here, okay, so I'll just scroll through that. Okay, So if you take a look at our aggressive scan, we will see we have port 21, the TCP, the state is open. We have FTP services, and we have VSF TPD 2.3.4. This particular version of FTP is actually vulnerable, and we can attack this in 3 different ways, which we are going to be doing in this video. The first attack we are going to launch against this service is an Hydra attack, which is a password cracking attack. We are going to supply a word list into an Hydra and brute force that against this particular FTP services, and see if we can get login credentials for all those accounts within the Metasploitable2 machine, and we're going to be doing that right away. So I'll just ignore this. Okay, so before I move to that, let's just document our findings on the port. So I'll just copy the whole of this port right here. So we're going to be documenting that right here. So we'll just call this let's call it Metasploitable 2, and let's call this open port, and we have our open port right here. Paste that right here. Okay, good. So we're going to be starting with the FTP service. I'll just call that exploiting FTP service. So the first is we're going to be using the password cracking attack using Hydra. Okay, so then we can navigate. Okay, I can just simply split this screen right here. So split that horizontally. Okay, good. So let's launch our Hydra. So I'll make sure I cd into our working directory, which is Metasploitable2 directory, and ls to be sure. Okay, so I can clear that. So we'll supply sudo Hydra tag l, the word list for the username, which is wordlist.txt, and tag p, which will be for also wordlist.txt. So we are practically using the same word list for the username and the password. So you could specify a different word list in your case. We're going to be specifying the IP address, which is 192.168.43.125, and we're going to be specifying the FTP service, and we just hit the enter key, and we'll supply a sudo password. So that will launch our Hydra attack, and we wait for that to complete and see if we can get complete list of credentials for all the accounts on this Metasploitable machine. Okay, we got one, which is the default one given to us, the msfadmin, and the password is msfadmin. We got another user right here called user, and the password is user. We got another which is called service, and we have another user which is called Postgres. So these are all the list of credentials found using the Hydra to brute force the logins using a word list. This is basically how you can attack this particular vulnerability in Metasploitable2 services using a password cracking tool. So what we're going to do next is to use another attack on this FTP service. So this time around, there's another attack techniques we can use, which is called the smiley face attack. The way this smiley face attack works is that we supply a smiley face username with an anonymous password. So once we supply this and submit that, so that open up a listening port on 6200 on your Metasploitable2 machine, which you can then connect back to using the netcat, and you gain a bind shell. So we're going to be seeing how that is done in just a moment. So what we're going to do is we can use telnet, we can use FTP. So let's use telnet 192. Okay, I think we have everything right here. Then I'll just hit the enter key. So we are going to specify user because we want to specify the username, and we'll call it let's just call it CTF. You can call this any random name, sec. Then you supply the smiley face symbol and you hit the enter key. So the password can be anything, so we can just use pass, that is to indicate we want to supply a password, and we can just say no, and I'll hit the enter key. Okay, good. So this open up a listener on port 6200. So if you actually want to confirm this, you could split this screen again. Okay, and let's scan nmap. Okay, let's scan the ports 6200. Okay, and as you can see, the 6200 is not open when we did our initial scan right here. So supplying this smiley face password open up the port 6200. You can see the service running on this 6200. The basic scan we did now just close the connection, so we are going to open that connection one more time, and this time around we'll supply the same credential, user CTF sec, then smiley face, and enter. Then we'll specify password, and our password should be null, and we'll hit the enter key. So now we could actually clear this and use ncat to connect to this. So no DNS resolution, variables, then the IP address, and it is port 6200, and we hit the enter key. Okay, good. So we have a shell. So ls, so you can see we are in the msfadmin root directory right now. So if you want to actually confirm this, we could navigate back to our Metasploitable. So we'll just give that a little bit of time. So it has been inactive for some time, so that is why we are having a blank screen. Okay, that's taking a lot of time. Okay, that is back. So I can just ls right here. You can see this is vulnerable, and if I navigate back to the shell we had, okay, so I can use the help command. Okay, these are the list of command we can actually run within this shell, and okay, we could actually run directory. So I can just check my present working directory. So we are in the USR. So okay. So what I'll do is I'll just close this so that we can gain that shell one more time. Okay, so I'll just get that one more time, and user. Okay, let's call that same credential, and pass no, and I'll just connect to that. Okay, this is our working directory ls. Okay, this is a list of file we have. So let's see the home. I think there's a file called home and ls. Okay, we have user, and cd msfadmin, and ls. We have vulnerable. So as you can see, we have the same file as vulnerable. So if I cd into vulnerable, and I ls that. Okay, these are the list of file we have under that. So to confirm we are in this system, so I could just cd into vulnerable and ls that. Okay, you can see we have same file right here. So we could actually write to file, to copy file, and execute all sort of command within this shell we just gained. So this is another method of exploiting the VSF 2.3.4 FTP services running on the Metasploitable2. So the third method of exploiting this Metasploitable is we're going to use the Metasploit framework. So I'm just going to close this aggressive scan, clear that, and we're going to use MSF console, and I'll launch that and give it time to boot up. So while that is coming up, we could just use that to update our report right here. So when we did the password attack, we got some credentials, and let's just open that. Okay, where's our credentials? I think I have. Did I close that? Oh no. I think I did. Okay, I'll just close this. Okay. I'll clear that. And I'll just run that command. I think I still have that command. Sudo hydra tag l user. Okay, I'm in the wrong directory. cd metasploit. Okay, so I'll just run that exploit sudo hydra tag l not user word list .txt. That was wrong. Word list.txt, and our password will be word list.txt. Okay, that is correct. And we supply 192.168.43.125, and we specify an FTP and supply the sudo password. So we'll just wait for that to run one more time. So while that is coming up, since I closed the Metasploit framework, I'll just open that manually right here. I think I used that recently. So this is the first method. Oh, that's wrong. Okay, our Metasploit is coming up. Oh, this is the report I've been waiting for. So I'll just copy that. And I'll just put that here. Okay. Next we are going to be working on is the Smiley as attack. I hope I spelled that correctly. And we gain a shell. So we gain a shell using a smiley face along with the username and any password. Okay, shouldn't that be a lowercase? So I'll just right click on that, and I think I can switch that if I'm not mistaken. Convert. Okay, yeah, I can switch that to a lowercase. Okay, change that. So the third attack is gaining a shell using Metasploit. So let's check the status of our Metasploit. Okay, that is still coming up. Okay, that's taking a while. Okay, so first thing I want to do is actually search for these services. So I'm just going to say search VSF DPD. I hope I spelled that correctly. Okay, good. So we have an exploit for this VSF TPD234 backdoor, and you can see the description of this exploit right here, and you can see the ranking. It's ranked excellent, and you can see the disclosure date right here. So to use that, I'll just simply use 0. Okay, we are in. So we need to configure this particular exploit, and to do that, I'll simply show options to see the list of parameters we have to set. Okay, good. So we have two parameters right here. We have the R host and the R port. The R port has already been set to port 21, which is okay by us. And the second parameter is the R host, which is the remote host. That is the IP address of our Metasploitable2 machine, or the IP address of our target machine. So I'm just going to use this command right here, set R host, then the IP address 192.168.43.125. Then I'll just send that, and to confirm that, I'll use the show option one more time. Okay, so we have our R host already set to 192.168.43.125. So next thing we are going to do is to just exploit. Okay, the port used by the backdoor bind listener is already open. Okay, the service on port 62 does not happen to be in shell, so but no shell was open. I think we have a shell interacting with that, so I'm just going to close this shell right here. Make sure it is closed. I'm going to close this shell we opened previously, and we are going to run that one more time. So I'll just go back to that exploit and exploit again. Okay, we have a shell now, so I can just okay, found shell. I can ls one more time. Okay, ls. Okay, session 1. Let's interact with session 1, because we have a command shell session 1 open at any IP address to 192.168.43.125, the port 6200. So let's see if we are in. Okay, we are in. So I can cd into home. If I get that correctly, do we have, yeah, we have home, and I can ls that, and I'll cd into msfadmin, and can ls that the content, cd into vulnerable, then we can ls that. Okay, we are in the vulnerable directory of the Metasploitable2 machine, so I can cat the etc /shadow file. Okay, so we can cut the shadow file which contain the password hash of this particular Metasploitable2 machine. So these are the hashes for the various accounts or the various users. We have one hash right here for the account named user. We have another hash for the service account, and we have another hash for the msfadmin, that is the current account we are on. And I think we should be having one left. Postgres. Okay, we have another hash for the Postgres account. So this is basically how you can exploit the VSF TPD 2.3.4 service, that is the FTP service. Hey guys, that will be all in this video. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell below, and see you in the next video.